Take a look at the drive shaft for the front 4x4 differential. You can see this is an aftermarket universal joint and it has a grease nipple. Over here we also have a grease nipple, but on your factory application you will have this plug, so you will have to install this grease nipple to grease the shaft so it could slide back and forth at this joint. Here we have a seal universal joint, and this is a defective, fail, worn out universal joint. They were installed at the same time as the greasable one, and the seal universal joint has failed before the greasable one because the greasable one was maintained with grease, preventing it from failing. Let's take a look at this worn out universal joint. We want to look in there to make sure you see the play between the cap and the center. So you can see right there. You can also hear it clunking. So it's most likely coming from these two. Let's get ready and change this universal joint. Here's a new one. It's an aftermarket. It comes with a C-clip retainer, and this is a seal universal joint, which means it does not have a grease fitting. So the next time we have to change this, we will try to get a grease fitting universal joint for installing here, like we have already done on this one here. And this will reduce the likeliness for servicing the drive shaft universal joint. Let's go ahead and install the new universal joint. We're first going to start with removal. So here you can see the universal joint that was made to believe that was not a greasable or grease fitting has one. And obviously the fitting for this tool is not popular. So that's why the universal joint was never greased. Instead, you have that conventional ones, like the nipple, like I've showed you. So if the ring becomes difficult to compress, you will simply put a punch here, hit it with a hammer, driving the cap in to help release on the clip, which is seated in a groove. So let's try this one here. Some of them are easy, some of them might be difficult. All depends on the installation. Okay, so that's all 4 caps. They're out. We first want to separate this yoke from the universal joint. Now, the first thing I want to do here is I want to secure this yoke to this 2x4 wood when we're going to be removing the U-joint. You need to have it stable. Now you don't want that nail to go perfectly through. You want to bend it so you can get to hold that part to the wood. So we're going to drive this out of here and it's preferable that put some lubricant where the cap seat in the yoke. These are the yoke. Okay, so we have driven that cap out of there. We simply take that out, move that to the side. So in here is where you're going to see all those needle roller bearing. This is what one of them look like, and those are what goes bad because it don't get any grease in there, and water, moisture build up in there, and that contributes to corroding this needle roller bearing, which should be perfect. Let's remove the complete U-joint. So you need the lubricant, because what could happen when you strike with the hammer, it could break this casting. So the lubricant will alleviate the movement when it gets strikes. So this is what's going to happen most of the time when you're going to be taking this stuff apart. It's going to fall apart because it's already damaged. When you take a look at it, you can see the difference in the damage. This one here is completely sealed and perfect, while these two allow moisture in and damage the needle roller bearing, causing movement like that. And this could eventually lead to a breakage when driving or engaging the 4x4.